Hey, Theo here from MovementTheory.com. This is part 2 of my hamstring flexibility series. I'm going to be covering an effective static stretch for the hamstrings. Before using this static stretch, check out part 1 of this series as I cover a release technique. That way you break apart any restrictions that exist within the muscles, allowing the tissues to lengthen. With the bench in front of you, position your feet so they're hip-width apart, pointing straight forward. Now you're going to bring one heel on top of the bench. The opposite leg that's on the ground, your hip is going to be tucked into a posterior pelvic position and you're going to engage that glute. This is going to help neutralize this lumbar spine as you stretch this hamstring. So in order to stretch the hamstring, we're going to drop our chest forward closer to the knee. Now what I'm looking for with an effective hamstring stretch is that the pelvis is not rotating. So if this hip is not all the way hinged back, then there's very little stretch going on within the hamstring muscle. So be sure to keep that pelvis square and your feet pointing straight for proper hip alignment while you stretch the hamstrings. To get the upper portion of the hamstring closer to the insertion, you can flex your knee slightly and drop your chest forward, and that's going to stretch right underneath that gluteal fold. And just simply extend the knee to get more into the medial portion of that bicep femoris. Now be mindful of keeping these feet straight and not rounding your shoulders forward. A lot of times people will try to reach and touch their toes while they round their shoulders forward. This is not going to stretch the hamstring effectively. So keep those shoulders retracted back, and it doesn't take much in a forward lean for that stretch to be felt within the hamstrings. Following a release, hold this stretch for 15 to 30 seconds before a workout and as much as a couple minutes after a workout. Utilizing the release and the static stretch, you will be able to restore the flexibility out of those hammies. Join me for part 3 of this series as I cover a dynamic stretch to increase the range of motion. Please like this video and leave me a comment, subscribe to my Movement Theory YouTube channel, and check me out at MovementTheory.com.